Hi guys, so today we are going to see about the directive principles of state policies. So which was been in the Indian Constitution under the part 4 of the Indian Constitution and consist of the articles from the Article 36 to Article 51. So basically here the state refers when we talk about the overall Indian federalism, here the state talk about the India, but when you talk only about a particular state like Tamil Nadu or any other state, it will be talk about the state refers to Tamil Nadu. If you still come out and if you talk about any district, their state will be talk about the higher authority. Likewise, the statement of state various differs based on the context of the what was written in the Indian Constitution. So basically this concept of directive principles of state policy was taken from the Irish Constitution, which is Ireland, but Ireland has been taken this concept from the Spain. So the first, it consists of Article 36 to 51. So basically Article 36 all about the meaning of definition of state. Like I said before, India didn't mention any word like India, for example, state, district. Likewise, they didn't mention in any place of the Indian Constitution. Instead, they are using the word called state, and the meaning of the state varies based on the context it was used. So this was the Article 36, and Article 37 is all about the Indian Constitution say that the application of the directive principle. So basically directive principles means these are the set of the guidelines which have been very helpful for the welfare of the people who are in the Indian Constitution. So basically these are the set of guidelines. So but that article 37 talks about the that application of that directive principle, in which way they have been used likewise. So the main aim of these principle is to ensure socio-economic justice of the people. So all the people should have to get the equal justice and socio-economic status. These are the main things of the directive principles of state policy, and the main aim is to establish India as a welfare state. And this DPSP means Directive Principles of State Policy, which tells about how a state, which means India, or a particular state like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, or a particular district, they should have to be so that it will benefit the people of India. So the ultimate aim of this DPSP is to benefit the people of India. This is classified into three things based on the ideology. The one is socialistic principle, the another one is Gandhian principle, and the last one is liberal and the intellectual principles. So the first see about the socialistic principles, the Article 38. So Article 30 is basically talks about the welfare of the people. So the state shall strive to promote the welfare of the people by securing and protecting social order, by ensuring social, economic, political justice, minimizing inequalities in income, status, facilities and opportunities. So the main aim of the state is to minimizing the inequalities among the people on the grounds of income, status and facilities and the opportunities, and they should have to ensure the social, economic and political justice, which should have to be reached the people in a correct manner way, which is talked in the Article 38. Article 39 is all about the state should have to take some certain measure to secure the below things. The what are the things means the state have the right to adequate means of the livelihood to the all citizens. The state should have to ensure that the all citizens should have the adequate livelihood, means they have the basic facilities like electricity, water, food, place. These are the some of the adequate things, and the state should have to ensure that all the citizens are getting this. The next one is the ownership and control of the material resources shall be organized in a manner to secure common good. For example, in a particular place there are more resources, and if one person using the resources more and another person is unable to use, there will be some inequality in that. So the state should have the ownership and control for the material resource, and these should have to be organized in such a way that they should serve in an equal manner. The next one is the state shall avoid concentration of wealth in a few hands. For example, uh, if you take one person have been so wealthy and another person is needed for his daily adequate things. So the states will have the rights. The states shall may avoid these concentrations of wealth which was in a few hands. The next one is equal pay for equal work. For example, in some of the places for equal amount of work, men will pay differently and women will pay differently. So these things have to be changed, and the pay should be based on the work and not should be based on the gender. So these things have to be ensured by the states, which was under the directive principles of state policy. The next one is the protection of the strength and health of the workers. The strength and health of the workers should be protected, and the child and the youth should not be exploited. Like for a particular job or many of the jobs, childs and youth should not be worked in that place. The next one is Article 41. It is all about to secure the right to work and to education and to public assistance in cases of unemployment, old age, sick and disability. So for example, if there is a place in unemployment, the people should have the right to work or to education, to get education in a public assistance. So and these should have to be ensured by the states. So next one is the states, Article 42. The state shall provisions for securing just and humane conditions of work and for the maternity leave. So the state should have the provision to check whether the place is good for a human to work, to maintain his health as a good in a good condition, and they should have to allow some maternity relief to the women's. So these are some of the things that should have to be ensured by the state. The next one is Article 43. It talks about the uh, to secure all workers a living wage and a decent standard of living. So some of the peoples may get high work, but they are given for a low wage. So they should have to be ensured by the state that the wage should be adequate for the person to manage his basic amenities. So they should have to be have some decent standard for his life. So they should have to be ensured by the state. Next one is Article 43A. The state shall take steps to secure the participation of workers in the management of the industries. So for a particular company or particular place, some workers will be always be a worker, but they should have to be not treated as a right way, because some of the workers should have the managing ability, so they should have to be involved in the management activities as well. So this was added in the Article 43A. The next one is Article 47, which means the level of nutrition has to be improved in the state, and the standard of living of the people also improved, so that their public health will have be concerned. So these are the some of the ideologies so which were be seen in the socialistic principle. So the next one is Gandhian principle. So next one is Gandhian principle. So Article 40 states that the state shall have the takes to step the organize the village panchayats as the unit of self-government. So village panchayats is the basic level of the government, where the people can directly get and tell their basic requirement for their places. So the state should have take the certain steps to organize a village panchayat, so that they can take the feedback of the people to improve the quality of the people, quality of the life of the people. So next one is Article 43. Talk about the promotion of the cottage industries on the individual as well as the cooperative level in rural areas. So the states will have to take the measures to promote the cottage industries in the rural areas for individual as well as the cooperative societies as well. So Article 43b talks about the in cooperative societies, ensure the state should have to ensure there will be a voluntary formation, or there should have been an autonomous functioning and democratic control which should have to be happening in the cooperative societies. The next one is Article 46. It's talk about the steps taken by the states to ensure the to promote the educational and economical interest to the weaker sections of the people. So particularly SCs and STs and the weaker sections. So some of the weaker sections of the peoples are not allowed to involve in any of the promotional to any of the educational and economic interest. So this should have to be avoided, and they should have to be involved in these things. So the next one is Article 47. It talks about the state should have to take some steps to improve the public health and prohibit the consumption of intoxicating drinks and drugs that are injurious to health. So if the state believes that some of the drinks may be intoxicating and they are intoxicating and they are injurious to health, the state shall take any step to ban these things, because the ultimate aim of the state is to improve the public health. So they can they can have the provisions to take these steps. So the next one is Article 48. It talks about the the state should have the provision, the state should have to uh, avoid the killing of cows, calves, and the other milky product like milk, so that draft cattle, so that they improve the breeds. So which means, so basically the populations of the cows and another village breeds of varieties of the cows, calves has been decreasing statistically. So according to article 48, the state have the rights as to prohibit these killing of these organisms. So these are the some of the Gandhian principles. So let's see about the liberal intellectual principles on the next class. Thank you.